Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day?
Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is September 10th, 2025. What is going on with Bitcoin? Are we still going to hit upside targets as discussed on this channel? What's going on with altcoins? All that and more are we going to discuss in this episode. If that all sounds interesting to you, then watch until the very end. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. All right, Bitcoin on the 4-hourly time frame. All right, so the past week has been confusing for most market participants. Many people feeling the selling pressure on the higher time frame, and given the instability of the price action, we're looking for a breakdown. Okay, we're looking for Bitcoin to break down severely. Okay, that's coming, but not quite yet. On this channel, I've been saying for some weeks now that we should expect Bitcoin to make an all-time high in the medium time frame. There was a reason for that. Again, we have a nice rounded bottom, right? A key indication of a trend reversal, okay? That trend would be a reversal of the local trend from down to up, okay? The other thing we have that's really interesting is the formation of a bullish reversal pattern. We see these bullish reversal patterns, inverse head and shoulders, cup and handles, W bottoms. We see them at the bottoms, at inflection points, okay? And so you can see very clearly here, you have your left shoulder, your head, and your right shoulder. Now, I want to make an important point. I've said this, that it was very likely that Bitcoin reverse course here and make all-time high for about a couple weeks now, maybe a few weeks. And some people are saying, see, you're wrong. This is an important point. Sometimes it's not necessarily about the call in particular, but the timing of it. Okay, so that call has yet to be invalidated, yet and still people believe it's wrong. So when you're looking at price predictions, you're looking at the ways you can try and time the market and do technical analysis. Do keep in mind your time bias. The time bias sometimes warps your read on the market and what is likely happening versus what hasn't happened in some determined time frame in your mind. And sometimes you may have already made that determination and are just not conscious of it. So I just wanted to make that point. All right, anyway, it's quite clear at this point in time that you have a well-defined left head and right shoulder. Now that right shoulder is much longer than the left shoulder, and you can see it looks like a bunch of up and down price action here. That's a nice, well, it's not a nice, but it's a complex flat correction more likely than not. And it goes something like this, okay? And so these complex flat corrections, we know in technical analysis, can take all the time in the world. There's no set time frame that they have to be on. And also remember, all of this is corrective price action. One of the definitions of corrective price action is that it's capricious, it's unpredictable, and there's no set timing on it. So keep that in mind. When you see moves play out, they're respecting certain levels like this right here. For the past 7 days, you've been making nice higher highs and nice higher lows rather, right? Nice higher lows, right? You set a low here, this is a higher low, this is a higher low, hence the up and to the right action. And every single time you came here, you respected it, you bounced off of it. That shows strength in the market. It's not the highest, sign of strength of a market, but it's strength nonetheless. Do expect that strength to go up. My other point is, because it's quite clear that this is corrective and messy and unpredictable price action, it tells you more about the larger context of Bitcoin. Is that bull market behavior? I'll leave you to figure that out, okay? In a bull market, a real bull market, we don't experience as much corrective price action. I'll just say that much. All right, the next likely target for Bitcoin, given what we're seeing here, is we can determine that one of two ways. You can use your price projection using the fact that this is likely an inverse head and shoulders, and the target of an inverse head and shoulders is the height superimposed from the side of breakout. I've pre-measured this, right, with a line properly, and that's about 119, okay, right here. The other way you can measure that is to say, once this breaks, right, given that you've been in this ascending broadening wedge for 12 days, whenever this breaks, do expect the midline, right? An ascending broadening wedge is a type of channel, right? So now you're under the midline, okay? You're at the midline resistance. Once you break that, expect two things. One, expect price to go much faster. I remember saying in last episode or 2 episodes ago that think in terms of a commute in a metropolitan city. You're not always going to go at the same speed. Sometimes you're going to be, bumper to bumper, just in traffic. It's a slow zone because it's a school zone, or it's a two-way street or something like that. Other times you're on the highway, you've already merged, and everybody's moving. So in the same way, this breakout actually happened down here at support, but the run really goes, you get on the highway after you break 114K. Yesterday, or last time we spoke, I said 113K, but because this is an ascending broadening wedge, that resistance rises. So right now that resistance is around 114.3, right? So do expect price to go much faster there and reach our target of 119. Now, how do we know 119 is the target using Fibonacci? Very simply because the trend starts down here at around 111. If it goes up, it has to come back down, retest our midline of this ascending broadening wedge as support. So whatever distance is covered by this trend, the retracement is likely to come back to this area to retest previous resistance. And this was staunch resistance, right? Look at this. This is resistance from, right, this level right here from Friday, September 5th, all the way to present day. So about 5 days of resistance, and that's important resistance on the smaller time frames. So do expect previous resistance of the midline to be retested as support in that way. And typically, initial waves, right, they do 0.5 to 0.618 retest. Typically, they retest to 0.618. That's how you can take your Fibonacci target and project this move to 119, Bitcoin's next target, and retracement back down to 114-ish. All right, so that's Bitcoin. That's the read. This is what we're waiting for. Meanwhile, let me say this. That move to 119 from where we're at is about a little less than 5%. That's, a little shy of 5%. Meanwhile, altcoins are also going to use the steam, the momentum of Bitcoin moving 5% to do much larger moves. So right now we're looking at others. Remember what the others is? It's a chart of all the altcoins, generally minus the top 10 in market cap. So it's a nice representation. And as you can see right here, this chart is showing serious resistance of about 216 days. All right. So you have a 216-day resistance about to be broken right now. And the next likely target, we're going to use Fibonacci once more to ascertain that upside target. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the start of the move, right? The orthodox low, which is around here, project our Fibonacci up, and our retracement to the phi ratio, so the 0.618, okay? And why is our 0.618 going to be confluent with where we're at right now? Obviously, this is important because this is our resistance that we've been under, right? This is what I just showed you, 216-day resistance. You can also call it a 500-day resistance if you zoom out. So we expect altcoins in aggregate to do something like this. Remember, it's not just going to round trip because the orthodox low, this entire move is like this, right? So it's basically going to be a retest of important resistance as new support, which is essential. That is a principle of technical analysis. So it's a high probability target to target altcoins to this level. So while Bitcoin does just shy of 5% to the upside with this high probability next move, altcoins do in aggregate about 15%. So that is alt season like behavior. It's not just alt season like behavior, it's alt season behavior. Bitcoin goes up a bit, altcoins go up much more. So look out for that. You should start to see that on your watch lists where, AVAX for instance is up almost 13%. You should see much more green in alts than you see in Bitcoin. All right, so guys, get excited. Hope that was helpful, useful. Like, share, and subscribe. If you got value, consider my crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation service. If you're interested in trading with me and you want direct guidance on, how to, build a portfolio of assets that are likely to move in the bull market, and how to balance that portfolio, how to mitigate risk, all kinds of risk mitigation techniques that I've gathered throughout the years. You can sign up for that at the pinned comment below. And obviously, I forgot to mention an important part of crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation is that when things start hitting targets, I give high probability targets to the upside, where to take profit, and high probability supports, where to get back in. So you snowball profits. That's an extremely effective way to build a small portfolio to a magnificently giant portfolio. So yeah, you can sign up to that at the pinned comment below. Also, if you're just interested in my outlook, my view on a particular asset, doesn't even have to be crypto. That's a single asset analysis service. Just pay $120 and send payment through one of the 4 payment methods below, and within 24 hours I'll have the recorded or pre-recorded analysis to your email, and you can even follow up with a couple questions that you can sign up to at the pinned comment below as well, or you can see details about that at the pinned comment below. And last but not least, BTCC, the exchange partner for this YouTube channel, which is also, I may add, very importantly too, the longest running exchange in crypto. All right, that's not just talk. You can look that up. That's the longest running exchange in crypto, and they apparently haven't been hacked. That I can't verify. I'm not like Zach XBT, but apparently they've never been hacked, so it's extremely safe. And I use it personally, and I suggest my clients use it. Right now they're running a promotion where whatever you deposit, 500 or more, 500 USDT or more, if you're a new user, you can get 10% cash back on that deposit. So if I were to deposit 1,000 USDT or the equivalent, and I make one single trade, wait 7 days, I'm going to get 100 USDT right back in the account as part of that promotion. So guys, that's it for me. Hope this was good. Take care. I hope we pump finally and we start to realize some gains in this new bull market. Take care. Bye.
traveling time slot. I vocalize, too deep to localize. Even when I'm right on the surface, you act surprised how I work this, but I can't lie. Many a good alibi. I'll catch you later.
Visions are vividly enhanced with emphasis and amethyst to develop morale advantages which help us manifest magnanimous. We body vitals like evangelists. So listen when you're dealing with people who be revealing premonitions with precision. At least that's what I'm aiming at for now. I speak the language of the world, meandering throughout the crowd. Used to feel safe to say anything, but now it's a risk. It's hard for me to let go when all I can do is reminisce. Gone like the wind, here's where I begin. Should I smile or should I grin what's happening?